Hey guys, I'm Dutch, and this is DutchyBoyReviews. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving has had many movie adaptations over the years, some of these being good, and some not so good. Fortunately for you guys, I'll be reviewing my favorite version of this classic tale, and that is Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. So guys, care to join me for a ride with the Headless Horseman? Oh come on, it wasn't that bad of a line.
Sleepy Hollow was released in theaters in November of 1999. It was met with both critical and commercial success, making over $200 million at the box office worldwide. Critics praised the ensemble cast led by Johnny Depp's quirky performance as Ichabod Crane, as well as the gothic directing style of Tim Burton.
Who cares about that crap? People don't watch an R-rated movie about the Headless Horseman for its acting and directing style. They watch it for one reason, that's decapitations. 2 decapitations within the opening scene. Well played, Burton. Well played.
We are then introduced to Johnny Depp's Ichabod Crane, a character who can only be described as a bit of an outcast. His superiors give him the task of solving the murders in Sleepy Hollow using his various forms of detective work, which some deem to be untraditional.
You will take these experimentations of yours to Sleepy Hollow, and there you will detect the murderer.
Which, let's be honest, if the guy who played Dracula, Saruman, and Count Dooku told you to do something, you'd probably do it. This also brings us to the opening credits for the film, which happens to be one of my favorites. I feel that the music and the cinematography set the tone for the movie perfectly. I really love the direction of the opening credits. I feel that it portrays the town of Sleepy Hollow as in dire straits. I mean, you've got people closing windows, and scared of this new guy coming in. You see people heading off to do guard duty. But enough of that cinema school crap. Let's get on with meeting the rest of our main characters.
We have Baltus Van Tassel, Katrina Van Tassel, Lady Van Tassel, some dead dude's kid, and of course Brom, who I don't think Ichabod's going to get along well with.
You have not heard your name yet. I have not said it. Excuse me.
Ooh, sick burn.
We are also introduced to the town council, who give their theory on who's responsible for the murders. You know, the Headless Horseman. They also go into a little bit of backstory to who they believe the Horseman is.
But unlike his compatriots, who came for money, the Horseman came for love of carnage.
Alright guys, I've only got 2 words for the next scene. Friggin' awesome.
Rode a giant black steed named Daredevil, chopping off heads at full gallop. It filed his teeth down to sharp points.
And then some little brat gave him away. And that's why I'm never having kids.
What follows is the murder of this boy's dad and the mutilation of a dead pregnant woman.
It's at this point we have another major character killed off, and Ichabod Crane finally gets to meet the Headless Horseman.
It was a horseman, a dead one, headless.
Yeah, no crap, Ichabod. To this point, after Ichabod discovers that the horseman is indeed real, the Witch of the Western Woods gets mentioned as possibly being the reason why the horseman is killing people, or that she might know something about it. So, of course, they're going into the Western Woods where this crazy witch is, and the Headless Horseman presides. They gotta have backup, right?
Me?
Yeesh. Okay, so backup might be lacking, but maybe the witch can help. Please be gone, please be gone, please be gone, please be gone, please be gone.
Well, at least the witch was useful, leading us to the horseman's resting place. And of course what follows is, well, what you expect.
More death and dismemberment. Oh, and Brom dies. And yeah, Ichabod was injured. Now at this point, I haven't really been showing you a lot of the plot development. I've sort of been giving you the abbreviated version. But Ichabod is actually doing some detective work throughout this entire movie. And at this point, we get our biggest bit of detective work by him, where he seems to think that somewhere there's a connection between Baltus Van Tassel and the Horsemen and the murders, in sort of a way for Baltus to kind of take over the town, at least presumably anyway. Oh yeah, and Katrina finds out about this. She's not happy, and then it leads to quite an interesting scene at the church. But is there another murder?
This church scene here dumps a lot of plot on us. I mean, characters die, alliances are ruined, and people we thought were working with the Horsemen we find out aren't at all.
Oh, and this happens. Things aren't looking good for our hero, guys. I mean, we have the death of Baltus Van Tassel and the supposed betrayal of Katrina Van Tassel. After all this, Ichabod decides to leave, and that's the end of the movie. Wrong! Man, that would have been a crappy end of this movie. Actually, Ichabod figures out who the real killer is. Or, well, the person behind the real killer, which is, of course, the Headless Horseman. Here, watch this.
Dear stepdaughter, you look as if you'd seen a ghost.
So you're telling me that the woman who, even though we didn't see her get killed by the Headless Horseman, is the one actually controlling the Headless Horseman? I see what you did there, Burton. Kind of like foreshadowing. Alright guys, all joking aside, if you didn't see that coming, I don't know what movie you've been watching. But anyways, what follows is a set of action pieces that are really good, and I'm going to give you kind of an abridged version of it, because it's not that I want to try to, save time. I really want you to go back and watch these, because they're very good pieces, and I think they're very well directed. So, check these clips out.
Watch your head. Ichabod!
Jaw-dropping.
It's at this point Ichabod does the only sensible thing, and he saves his girlfriend.
Yeah, some might consider the next scene to be laughable in terms of CGI, but I actually think it's not bad for 1999, and consider Jurassic Park never happened.
The former Lady Van Tassel is defeated, the Headless Horseman goes back to sleep, and Ichabod, Katrina, and the dead guy's boy live in New York happily ever after.
And that's Sleepy Hollow, or at least the abridged, gore-filled version. Before I get on to my final thoughts and overall star rating, I want to touch on two things. Two minor gripes or complaints. First thing, the tragic backstory of Ichabod Crane. Now I want to show you a scene that I didn't show you during the overview of the movie. Yeah, a little weird. Now don't get me wrong, I understand why they show these scenes in the movie. They're trying to give Ichabod some sort of tragic background to explain his weird behavior as an adult. And, well, the backstory they give him, his dad kills his mom with an Iron Maiden because she's a witch. Well, the backstory is akin to a serial killer than a police officer with some mild issues. So yeah, I feel this is a situation where less is more, and they should have only mentioned it in passing about his tragic childhood rather than show us in these kind of oddly out of place scenes, and that's saying something considering this is a Tim Burton movie. My second minor complaint slash gripe with this movie is the relationship between Ichabod and Katrina. Now, I understand in the original story there was a bit of a love triangle between Ichabod, Katrina, and Brom, where Brom was presented as this sort of potential match to Ichabod for Katrina's heart. But the romance in this movie feels kind of out of place because Brom isn't a match for Ichabod. There is not one point where Katrina shows any bit of emotion towards him other than, you're in the friend zone. And it makes Ichabod showing up and having this relationship with her, and the fact that it's happened so quick, I mean, they pretty much fall in love after a week of knowing each other. I would have been okay if the romance was hinted at, and then when they leave for New York, it kind of begins to blossom. But the fact they fall in love so quick, Brom is just fodder for the Headless Horseman. It feels like this relationship is just forced and tacked on. I understand if you're going to try something different with the story, but if that's the case, don't even have them fall in love at all. Alright, with all that native crap out of the way, let's get on to my final thoughts and my overall star rating. Now, I could spend days talking about why I like this movie, but honestly, the best way for me to describe it is, I just do. It's one of my quintessential movies to watch every October, and it's something I look forward to as Halloween approaches every year. And as with this, I give Sleepy Hollow a 4 out of 5 star rating. I suggest if you haven't seen it, you got to go check it out. I understand not everybody's a fan of Tim Burton, but believe me, guys, with this one, he really knocks it out of the park. I'm Dutch, and this is DutchyBoyReviews, and I'll see you next time.